we break the tipping point, when we go over the edge where it's 3 million every month and 3 million's a walk in the park, guess who the game changes for?
All of us.
Everybody in the room. I am with my beautiful goddess of a wife for over 33 years.
Mike is now sharing his formula for a full life, allowing people to grow and expand their entire lives to achieve the impact that they want while building the wealth that they desire.
So if you are a business owner, if you run a mastermind group, you want to be involved with Mike. Take it from me, somebody who's worked with him on multiple levels. Mike is the real deal.
If there's one person in my list of who to surround yourself with, it's Mike Aguilera.
And now, please welcome Mike Aguilera.
Boom! Hey, welcome everybody. Welcome, welcome. Hey, do me a favor, get those cameras on if you can, because I'd like to see you since you could see me. And wow, hey, Hank is in the house. Why don't you guys type in the chat bar, where are you coming in from? Where are you logging in from? Hey, Amy, wow, big day of information for you. Nice to see you. And Ann Davis, what's going on? Arthur in the house. All right, let's get those cameras on. We're going to have a good time. Hey, Stuart, super excited to see you guys. Rosemary, we're going to have some fun. Virginia Beach, Minnesota. Where we got? Seattle. Well, Hank, we were in Virginia, Farmville, Virginia, but we are back from there, back in Jersey. All right, Colorado. Hey, Rhonda, super nice to see you. Super nice to see you. Who else we got? We got PA. Hey, Bill. Welcome. So today, and you know what, team? Why don't you put the link in real quick? If you guys have any friends that you would like to join, hey, Y, nice to see you again. Glad to have you. If you guys have anybody that you'd like to join this real quick, because in a relatively short time, there's going to be massive value being dropped. And a lot of times, if you're like me, when I'm on a training like this, I'm like, why isn't this guy here? Why isn't this friend of mine here? So you have the link right there. Why don't you grab it real quick, find a friend and say, why don't you jump on for a couple minutes? I'm really excited to present this, and we're going to go for about 60 minutes. But if you've ever been on a training, who's been on a training with me before? Type in boom in the chat bar. Type in a boom in the chat bar. Then you probably are aware that we might go a little bit over. Is that okay? Can you guys type in if it's okay if we go a little bit over here? I'll do my best to make it efficient, but I don't want to cut our time short, if that's all right with you. Like in an hour, I'm not going to turn into a pumpkin or something. I'm here with one major intention: to serve you. And my hopes are through this presentation that we will have transformation. You might be a little motivated, but I'm not looking for motivation. I'm looking for transformation today. So if you're ready to get started, type in the chat bar, let's do it. Let's do it. And we're going to have some fun right now. So this presentation, when we were building it, I was thinking about the book a while ago, Bill, and the book is Think and Grow Rich. And if you read the book, type in rich in the chat bar. Type in rich in the chat bar. And I've read the book too. I probably read it a long time ago, like you guys. Hey, David. But there was a problem. The problem was, David, is I kept telling everybody, every time someone asked, who read the book Think and Grow Rich, right? And I was like, me, except I wasn't rich. So if you read the book and you're not rich, what do? You read the book again because you figure, well, maybe it didn't rub off enough inside my mind. So I read it again. And then I attended another event and they were like, hey, who read Think and Grow Rich? And I was like, me. And I wasn't rich again. That made me wonder, like, what if there's some things inside this book that we're missing? And maybe I could connect a new dot. Now, if you're new in my world, can you just write new? Like, this is the first time we're meeting each other. You're like, I don't even know if I like this tattoo guy yet. He seems a little intense. He seems a little loud. Well, why don't you just hang tight a little bit before you judge the heck out of me? All right, Brian, hang tight a little bit. I don't know if that's Lina or Linan. Hopefully I'm not saying it too wrong. Hey, Rosemary, why don't you just stay with me a little bit? And then in the end, if you're like, I don't like that tattoo guy, you could just like find me on Facebook and send me like a middle finger emoji or something. I'll be okay. I promise. But how about some of you that been in my world? How long have you been in my world? Type in, is it a year, a month? That Richard says that tattoo guy. Maybe all of you should just tell me if you have a tattoo and then I'll feel like way more comfortable with you. David's 5 months. And how long? Type in 2 years. Hey, Jim, nice to have you again here. 1 month. All right. Well, this is how to go beyond Think and Grow Rich. Now, you probably know that I'm going to have to give some credibility and authority, right, Ann? Because there's new people here. 3 tattoos. All right, Dan, Ann, let's get another one so we could have 4. I don't even know how many I have. They're one. It's one big one. I have to build some credibility and authority because those of you that are new, why you're wondering, is this going to be value? Those of you that have been in my world that came here, well, you already know there's going to be value. And this is sponsored by our store, the Food Dog Store. Feel free to check out that QR code. My team will throw the QR code or link. We got amazing trainings and programs on there. Also, I know when you attend things like this, it's easy to show up on time, but then life gets in the way. So if it's cool with you, I'd like to just tell you some other things we have coming up. We'll get that out of the way so we could get into massive value here. One thing we do have coming up, and some of you are probably already registered. If you're already attending Wealth Code, can you type in Wealth Code in the chat bar if you're already going to attend it? And Wealth Code is an online training just like this. Me, you, couple expert speakers, and it's going to be, right here's the dates. So it's this period of time right here, and it's amazing. It's broken up to like 2 days a week, pretty much over 2 weeks, something like that. 2, 7, 9, and 14. It's about 4 hours a session. So it's a deep dive, total immersion between you and me. Now, some of you that are new, you're like, well, I don't even know. I didn't even get through this. Why would I consider that? Well, why don't you just wait a little bit and then you could consider it, and I'll give you guys a special opportunity if you choose to do it. I do have one more thing coming up because I know when I'm on with people of knowledge and wisdom, and my team and I, we spend over $250,000 a year, and I've done over 3.8 million on my own education. So I'm a huge believer in education and wisdom, and you're going to see how it played out for me, and also where the wisdom came to translate this Think and Grow Rich. We do have this breakthrough event coming up. I think at the breakthrough, we're down to 3 seats left. It's only for 20 people. So if at the end of this, you're thinking you would love to come to the Jersey Shore, who's been to the Jersey Shore? Type in Jersey Shore. Type in Jersey Shore. I'm just curious. Seaside Park is where we live, but and if you've never been there, Stephanie says never. No, Stephanie, we know you have. If you've never been there, put a question mark, because that means you're kind of thinking, I live in the area with like Desperate Housewives or Jersey, and you're making this total interpretation of what Jersey is about. I promise, Rhonda, whatever you see on TV is at least not my world. It's a world, but not my world. But this is a 2-day experience. If you're coming to this, type in breakthrough in the chat bar. I see a bunch of people that are registered to come to this. It's going to be only 20 people together. So in case you want to think about that. Disclaimer, hey, this is not a business training, all right? This is a breakthrough training. This is a training to help you transform something inside your mind different the way that you're thinking right now. And you don't have to write this stuff down. Feel free to take a picture of it if you want. In this here, did you think but not grow rich? Because that's how the book is, like think and grow rich, but then everybody would be rich. So I do want to read some of these things right here to you. Napoleon Hill was a pioneer of personal growth, but pioneers still get some things wrong. They do. Like we have to challenge. And I know some of you think like, hey, it's been around forever. Well, it might be right, but maybe it's not right, right? And the other thing is to make sure that as we're going through this, that you're thinking a little bit different about, hey, what is even rich to you, right? The title can seem a little misleading, and there's more to it than just thinking. At least that's what I've learned over, 3 decades now. And some readers could misinterpret the book's focus on thoughts and think that they do not need to take action. Have any of you figured out, type in action if you figured out like thoughts without action just are not going to get you the results that you desire, right? And some readers could even misinterpret the book's focus on thoughts. When I think about thoughts, I think the thoughts of my past are creating my actions of today. You might want to write that down. Now, the author talked about making organized plans, but that's just one small little chapter without a lot of details. He still emphasized thought as the key factor. Therefore, there are many people who think about success, yet don't take action. Do you guys know anybody? Give me a boom if you know somebody who really talks about big things. I want to build these things, but they never get there, right? And the world has changed. I mean, there have been new advances in the power of the mind and new ways to create wealth. Now, hey, Scott, nice to see you. Am I the end all? No, I'm just a small aspect of wisdom that I want to bring to you. And I'll show you how when I reframed my thinking, how that played out for me, okay? But we can't downplay the book 100%, right? I mean, there's more than 30 million copies. Now, I don't know how many books I've written now, maybe 28 books. Then there's not 30 million copies sold of it. So I don't want you to think there's no value in it. I just want to bring a little different perspective to it. And here's a little bit about Napoleon Hill, in case you don't know about him. He was born in 1883, right? And his mother died when he was 9 years old. So you got to imagine like that plays a part in somebody's life. And at age 13, right? At age 13, he worked for his father's newspaper as a mountain reporter, and he died in 1970. So that's actually the year I was born, 1970. I'm level 54 right now. Well, I will be level 54 in May 29th. If you want to share, what level are you? I don't know why people would even say they're 54 years old. I like to think I'm improving. I know I'm improving year after year, and based on a blood test, I'm reversing my age, and I'd love for you to do that too. Now, I will share with you one of the greatest books he's wrote. Most people don't even know about it. So I'm curious, how many of you read this book in here called Outwitting the Devil? Outwitting the Devil. Now, Outwitting the Devil was an amazing book. Amazing. I don't know why it's not more read than 30 million times or purchased. So if you do get a chance, I find extreme value in listening to the audio of Outwitting the Devil. Now, just the show, and if I could go back in time, I know a lot of people, like, they say, hey, if you could go back to talk to someone who's not around anymore, who would it be? You know what, Arthur? For me, it'd be Napoleon Hill, and only on one thing. I want to know his intentions of writing that book and why he would not let the book. And did you ever read it? Outwitting? No. Okay. And he wouldn't let the book get published till he was dead and his wife was dead. Well, you got to think there's something in that book. And it's probably the challenge of even using the word devil, right? But do you know that he lived much of his life in poverty and lost most of the money he made at Think and Grow Rich? So he did not die wealthy. Some of you just type in like, how do you even write that word? Right? That's what it makes me think about. So what if you could learn the secrets of growing wealth? So in this masterclass, here's what I want to do. I want to cut through some of the noise. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I'm just going to deliver it. And I always ask people this: would you rather a hurtful truth or comforting lie? You tell me in the chat bar. Not to hurt you. I think so many people just want to, they want to sing Kumbaya, and then they want to sit there and complain about everything they don't have. Everything is being done to them, not for them. Can you relate to that? Type in relate. Like, everybody's like, no, you don't understand, Mike. It's the president, it's the economy, it's this, it's that. And I'm like, okay, I get it. They're all things, but they don't have to be your thing. And you might want to write that down. They're all things, but they don't have to be your thing. And I want you to learn how to harness our desire for greater wealth and freedom in taking action. So I'm going to share things from my own life that I believe you could take and put in your life if you choose, and gain greater clarity on effective wealth building strategies. And the last part, build a sustainable legacy-minded concept of wealth. Now, for some of you, this may not be, and this is not my family at the beach. My kids are grown up, but that kind of does look like our beach that's right down the street here. For some of you, you're ready for this information. You came here because, I don't know, tell me why you came here in the chat bar. Was it value in the knowledge? You've been on another training. You got nothing else to lose. It was free. You were bored out of your mind and you finished your Netflix series. What brought you here today? Because I built this to make sure that we can have change together, right? Now, why should I even be teaching you about money? Because look, the world, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube is filled with gurus and experts and people who are teaching things that they've never done before, right? They're sharing things they've never created. And I never wanted to be that person. So here's what happened when I used these new wealth growth strategies for me. And some of this, I want this to happen for you today. I went from confused and figuring it out to I sold 2 high 8-figure companies in the last 5 years. Okay. So those are really, really big companies. And I'm not bragging about the companies. I'm building authority because why? Some of you are new. I want to make sure you're regulating. And if I'm not a fit for you, no hard feelings. You just bounce off and be like, I don't want to hear what this guy has to say. I'm okay with that. But those of you that it is a fit for, because I do have a track record of the last 36 months now, creating over 62 multi-millionaires and 90% of them into decamillionaires. And some of the people on here, it was a whole bunch of their friends that went from one time struggling to today legacy style wealth. Now, I went from no mentors to leveraged expert advice. And everyone around me was giving up. Kind of a trend I'm seeing a little bit now. Do you guys see a trend? Type in trend. Do you see some people giving up a little bit? And then I built Food Dog Group and Business Forge. I built companies to not only help people in their personal growth, personal thinking, mind growth, but also just who is a business owner here anyway? Can you type in owner in the chat bar? Some hands up. One of the things, David, that was always interesting to me was I would get on with people and listen to what they're sharing, and they were a business owner. Oh, Nicole, not yet. I like that. They were a business owner. Well, no, I wasn't a business owner. I was, and I still am. And, we're working on building a business portfolio right now, from now to 2030 to go to 500 million. So I just want to let you business owners know, as you're listening to me, this is not something I did. It's something I did, and it's things I'm doing still today. So what I'm teaching you, we're applying in our teams, companies we have equity in, companies we're scaling. And that might be a little bit exciting to you. If it is exciting, type in exciting in the chat bar. Now, the recession of 2008 was kicking most people's ass. It was. Has anybody lived through that? Put 2008 in the chat bar. That was some interesting times. It was not easy. It purged out a whole lot of businesses. I was very strategic, so I never had a down year, never had a flat year. The minimum we made was an extra $1 million a year in the company, but it took a lot of different thinking. The same thinking that I applied here. My wife and I have been debt-free since we're 28 years old. And I already told you I'm going to be level 54. So do the math. You know what that means? Now, I'm not saying these are bad things to have. I'm just sharing my perspective. No mortgage, no money owed. We're selling the second building, which is a $5 million building. It has no debt. Sold a $5 million building last year, no debt. So the thinking I'm sharing with you, I applied, and it's proven track record, okay? And working hard, but not sure if I'm working on the right things. Have any of you felt that way before? Maybe you're doing the right things at the wrong time, or maybe you don't even know you're doing the right things. Give me a boom if you can relate to that one. And with my freedom, I've created Life by Design. And if you guys want something to consider, write down Life, Business, and Wealth by Design. Life, Business, and Wealth by Design. Did you guys ever hear this phrase, free days? Did you ever hear this phrase, free days? It's like somebody, they want to take so many free days a year. They don't have to work and they could just do whatever they want. Well, I think that's fun, but what I want to help people create is everyday free day. This is free day for me here. This is not work. Showing up to serve you and know that one person's life might change forever. No better thing for me to do right now. And this is probably my 5th hour or 6th hour already talking today. So for those of you new in my world, this is just a little couple fun stats. I built this company. I took this company from under $1 million to 32 million. Did that in over 10 years. I had 200 employees, 165 trucks, and I sold that in 2017. Does anybody else have a dream of selling a business someday? Type in selling. If you don't, I would be really curious why. And it might be just because you're going to hand it down to a family member, but that means you're selling it to a family member, right? You're handing it down. I also created this, which was called CEO Warrior. This was the top training and implementation organization in the world for the service industry, plumbers, HVAC, electricians. Do I have any trades people? Type in trades in the chat bar. And I sold that in 2020 because I needed to go and change the world in a bigger way. But I coached over 1,000 business owners in 6 years. That's a fair amount of business owners, everybody, to learn what people do and don't do and how they think. And I worked, had over 20,000 people following me from that industry. Now that I think about it, I probably worked with over 20,000 different people because I trained the owners, I trained the managers, I trained their employees, and everywhere in between. So that's a little bit of the authority of what I did. Here's the portfolio I was sharing. I use the same strategies, guys, that I'm going to share my thinking here to buy this building, buy this building. This one sold last year, so that was fun. This one I'm trying to sell. So if anybody wants a $5 million building in New Jersey, 15,000 square foot with turnpike exposure, hey, reach out to me. I'm looking to get rid of that building right now too. So same things applied. And what do we do today? This is what I do today. We have two things. We have one, we help people have life, business, and wealth by design. and we also have an equity company. And we have people all over the globe. Australia, Canada, we got people log in from Japan, UK, and everywhere in between. And this is what some of my friends say about me. So you get it. We've done cool things and we did it with cool people, right? Kevin Harrington says we cracked a code. Mike Michalowicz, transformative to his life, and also Jay Abraham. So cool people, you're going to get some information here. Now, number one, are you ready for it? Give me the biggest boom in the chat bar. Nicole, everybody give me a big boom in the chat bar. I'm going to break down the concept, what Napoleon Hill said, and what I'm thinking today. Okay? So thoughts versus power. All right? Thoughts versus power. Now, Napoleon Hill said, thoughts are things, right? He said thoughts are things. And he believed that our thoughts create wealth. Well, this is what we say here at Food Dog. It's not just your thoughts, it's your mind power. Now, did anybody, I don't even know where I have it. I probably gave a copy away. Did anybody read my mind power book? Type in mind power. Did anybody read it? Type in mind power in the chat bar. Does anybody not have the book? Type in question mark if you don't have the book or you never heard of the book. Okay, so some of you don't have it. Hey team, let's get the link where they can get a free copy of the book. Okay, let's give them a free copy. The one where they can just go in and get a digital version. If you guys want to go buy it, feel free to go buy it right on Amazon too, but we'll give you a free version here. I believe you should consider reading the book because I put a lot of energy and effort in it, and it's changing and shifting the way people think. Now, mind power, what I don't think the book said is they didn't share with you about this conscious and subconscious, right? You could sit here and go like this. I am wealthy, I am wealthy, I am wealthy. But if you say it, they call that a mantra, right? And a mantra, something you repeat over and over. If you don't repeat it enough, that it destroys an old limiting belief inside your mind, which is what we would call a subconscious programming, nothing's going to change. I always make the example at this point is when you were a kid, tell me what somebody told you about money. My mom said when I would count my birthday money, she would say, now go wash your hands. Money is what? Type it in the chat bar. Money's dirty. Now, if you were told as a kid money was dirty, do you think that just disappears inside your mind? No, your mind holds that, right, Nicole? Right? Your mind holds that inside. And when you're trying to make money, deep inside your subconscious, it's going, you don't want it. It's dirty. Why would you want dirty things? So we have to understand mind power is the combination of the conscious and the subconscious. The body also follows the mind. If your mind is in a state of destruction, how many, I've just shared this on something this morning. Have you ever said this to yourself? And just give me a yes, and there's no judgments here. Have you ever said, this situation is killing me? Did you ever say it before? I said it before. Imagine the demand, the command you just said on yourself. This situation is killing me. You know what your mind does? Your mind goes, all right, let me kill you. Let me give you a back pain, a neck pain. I'll grow something on your arm. I'll put a problem in your head. When you flip that around and use different language, it changes. How do I know? Over 3 decades of working with people on the mind, the body, the spirit, business growth, I've watched what people would call miracles. I call understanding. People call it miracles. I call it understanding. The other thing is the perspective and attitude are everything. They determine your level of chaos or peace. How many of you are just feeling you have some friends with a little bit of drama? Type in drama in the chat bar. You go on Facebook. Some of you love it. I see you smiling. You're like, first thing in the morning, I need my drama fix. Where's that kid I went to high school with again? Oh, his life is still miserable. Hey, did you see so-and-so on Facebook? Yeah, their life is still miserable. And guess what? That doesn't bring peace. It brings chaos. It brings chaos. And many extreme sports athletes and marathon runners say that the real challenge is not overcoming the physical resistance, it's the mental resistance. How many of you, just say yes or no, have a little bit of mental resistance? I think all of us do. Why? Well, whatever level you want to get to next, if you're not there, guess what, Brian? You probably got a little bit of resistance of some kind. Wealth is nothing more than a resistance. I've been on my own since I'm 15. How many of you have been on your own really young? Just write too young in the chat bar. Too young. When you're on your own at 15, all you know is survival, right, Amy, Richard? Survival. That's all you know. I eat a lot of ramen noodles and oodles and noodles and grilled cheese and peanut butter and jelly. Oh, and steakums. Some of you look like the generation of steakums. Type in steakums if you know what steakums is. I don't think that's real steak, but you're probably paying more for that thing, that thin thing. My wife and I, every now and then, we still make steakums with cheese on egg white wraps and stuff. But I will share with you that when I go back there, I was programmed to struggle, not programmed to win. So type in, this has to be action. If any of you are new here, one thing, my pet peeve is, I don't want this to be entertainment. You might laugh a little bit, but I want it to be action driven. So I want all of you to type in one action in the chat bar. Even if the action is watch your speaking or think more about, chaos or peace. So everybody put one action item in and we'll get ready for number 2 here, for number 2. Reframe thoughts. Yeah, very good. Post every day. Okay, awesome. Contribute. Yep. 100K. Okay. I love all these. Watch your words. Yes, yes. All right. If you're ready for number 2, give me a boom, but with $2 signs in between the B and the M. I'm going to make sure your brain is just working so sharp with me today. There. Oh, man. Ann, on fire today. Arthur. All right. Jim. Yes. Okay. Number 2, intentional thought patterns. Now, Napoleon Hill taught thoughts create wealth, but it's only intentional thought that creates wealth. It's not thought alone. It's intentional thought. If you want your day to change, set your intentions the night before. Set your intentions the night before. And also, team, put the link in again. If you see we're only on number 2 and you're getting value, feel free to grab the link and send it out to a buddy or friend real quick and say, hey, everybody, jump on this if you can. So here's what we say. It's only intentional thought. So true mind power requires commitment and consistency. Now, I believe in consistency, but I believe in consistently changing things. All right, time for a gut check, everybody. Ready? How many of you are not a fan of change? Type in change in the chat bar. You're not a fan of it. Hey, DJ, nice to see you. How many of you are not a fan of change? And how many of you are a fan of change? You're like, I love it. I change every day. I'm willing to change all the time. See, consistency is growth through change. If you do the same thing, the same workout routine every single day, there's a point where it gets to neutral. It doesn't expand. It doesn't grow. It doesn't grow no more. The whole thing, that's why we talk about in the wealth code training, we not only talk about change, we talk about what, how, when to put in place to change. You can occasionally think about growing your wealth. Now, I get it. Some people every now and then, Brian, I get them to tell me, Mike, money's not everything, they tell me. I go, yeah, I get it. But it sure does help a lot of things. What do you guys think? Type in help. Does it help? Yeah, right, Ann? I mean, it buys new cars, it buys new tires, it fixed the roof, fixed the furnace, fixed the plumbing. But I think people that go out there and they're programmed with money's evil, money's dirty, money's not everything, or don't be greedy. How about that one? Don't be greedy. Well, I don't know, whose definition of greedy is it anyway? One of my core beliefs is this: I want you all to make so much wealth, abundance of it, in hopes. I only have one hope. Type in if you want to guess the hope. What do you think my hope is? When you make just massive wealth, legacy wealth, change it. What do you think my hope is? Let's see who wants to guess at it. Not hope. What do you think? Help others. I just want you to take a little bit of it and give back. Now, anybody that's been following me, and they know I'm not a fan of people that go around, they're like, I fed 1 million people for Thanksgiving. I'm not a fan of that. You're probably like, Mike, you're mean. No, I'm a fan of teaching people how to feed themselves forever. That's what I'm a fan of. I'm a fan of helping people feed themselves forever. What do you guys think? Because if we teach people how to fish, what will happen to the world? Everything changes, right? Why? And those of you that don't have cameras on, hey, I'd love if you would jump on and turn your camera on. You cannot occasionally think about growing it. You want to have it inside your mind. And lasting growth and abundance only comes with intentional, determined mind power. Intentional, determined mind power. I guarantee every single one of you, when you treat something like it's oxygen, or you gave it 100% focus, I'll bet every one of you achieved what you needed. I know it because I've watched people for over 3 decades. When they understand what to do, how to do, why to do it, when to do it, they create massive impact and change. So what is your action item, Bill and why, and all of you guys here? What's your action item for number 2? What are you going to put in place after this? Are you going to write intentional thoughts, do intentional thoughts before you sleep? What's really great is you take a piece of paper and just write your intentional thought before bed. Stick it right next to your bed. Wake up in the morning, intentional thought, right? Jim says the sleep things really well work. Awesome. All right. Can you handle number 3? Can you handle number 3? I see some heads. Yes? Okay. Thinking plus action equals results. Now, Napoleon Hill taught your thoughts can create all success you want. Well, here's what we think. Thinking will only get you so far. There's more to wealth than just thinking about what you want to achieve. You want to think purposefully. And what steps do you need to take? Right? Because if it was thoughts alone, thoughts don't create the steps. You create the steps. And what safeguards should you put in place to minimize risks? How many of you have did something and you went forward with it, but you never did any risk thinking about it? You never thought, like, I'll share something. This was unexpected, but then I learned. Do you know some of you internally inside your subconscious are keeping yourself from becoming really wealthy because it's going to have conflict between you and family members? Is that a possibility? Type in possibility. Because I got it myself. You know, I'd go to Thanksgiving dinner and they'd be like, Amy, oh, here's Mr. Big Shot. I'm like, no, here's Mr. Work 7 days a week for months and months and months, and learned and studied at night and studied in the morning and work. Like, why don't they ever say that? And then if they want to like downgrade you a lot, you know what they say, Nicole? It must be nice to be lucky. It must be nice to be lucky. So some of you are held back on your wealth you want to create Because internally, how will your family, your grandparents, generations, how will they think about you? Now, whose knowledge can you leverage? This is one of the things I see so underutilized today. Every one of you are surrounded around somebody. How do I know? Because you're on with me, and I've done over 500 million in sales. So leverage the knowledge of people that are around you to get you going quicker. You know what learning curves are? Did you ever use this? Learning curves, growing pains. It's called lack of knowledge, lack of wisdom. That's what that is. Now, no achievement will come without taking committed, consistent action. If you just wish it, and I see so many people, I know family, friends, people all over, they just are not doing the doing. They're just not starting. They keep seeing what they don't have instead of what they can achieve. Now, do you guys want to know my personal, I wasn't going to talk about this, but do you want to know my personal view on the economy and the future over the next 36 months? Do you want to know mine? Type in tell me in the chat bar. Okay, I will tell you, Rhonda. Those of you that are learning, growing, expanding, and taking action, the next 36 months is the greatest wealth-generating, life-changing opportunities that most of us will ever see. It will be, for me, greater. It is greater than the industrialized age of creation right now in the moment. So what's the issue, Mike? Well, the issue is that not enough people are learning. They're staying stuck in fear, and they're more concerned about what is going to happen than what can happen for them. In 2008, when we had this recession, which is kind of interesting that everybody's like, oh, I wonder if we'll go into a recession. Okay, news for all of you. We're already in a recession. We've been in one. So this is what we have right now. And I adapted a thinking, a thought process. I embedded inside my mind a thought. You know what my thought was? I am the creator of my own economy. Isn't that true? There's what, $360 trillion or something on planet Earth? There's no lack of money and there's no lack of people. There's only a lack of understanding how to find the people and find the money. That's it. And you need massive, relentless execution. All right, let me pause here 1 minute. Tell me an action item from number 3. Look at it. What's something you're going to do and put in place in your life? I'll take a drink while you're doing it. What's the action item there that you have? Align people and money. Yes, Scott, love it. Plan my next day. Bedtime. Create steps. All right, are you getting value? Type in value. I want this to be massive value. If not, feel free to ask for a refund. Hang on, bad joke. It was free. It was free, Nicole. There's no refund on free. I want to make this worth so much value that you're like, if this was good in an hour or so of a free thing, what would it be like to spend, you know, a bunch of time with us? That's what we want. All right, wanting it is not enough. So Napoleon Hill, Bill, you know what he taught? Thought plus desire equals success. Well, here's what we say. You need more than just strong will to achieve your goals. You can want something really bad, but without strategic, write that word on a piece of paper, everybody, strategic action. Wanting it's not enough. I like 2 words. Ready? Strategic and tactical. Strategic, the planning, tactical, how we're going to execute upon this. Now, wealth creation requires that you adapt to the changing world as you work towards your target. Now, I use target for a reason. I want to share that since there's new people in the world. Do I have any military people on here at all? Type in military. active or reserves or anything? I always have somebody. Okay, well, if so, thank you for your service. The military never uses the word goal. They never use the word goal. I learned this by training with a lot of like high level ops military guys. They never say our goal is to we have a goal to take out the bad guy. They're like, we have a target, a destination. How many of you want to make more money? Type in money in the chat bar. Money. And money, we're talking about money because this thing can grow rich, but it can apply to anything. Okay, money. All right, so I'm going to mail you all $1. All right, Jim, Nicole, I'm going to send you $1. You're done. You're finished. You got $1. No, it's not about more money. It's about being so focused on what is the money, how much. And a lot of you are probably afraid to say it because you have that in the back of the mind. Well, if I told my family I'm going to be a millionaire, they would be like, oh, look at you, little Miss Two Shoes or whatever, right? So you first have to have the target, and then you have to say or more. So I would like in 10 years to have $1 million or more in my bank account, or my target is to be debt free by this time. Clarity is something that I notice a lot of people seem to not have ultimate clarity. Tell me in the chat bar if you could do a little bit better. Just type a little bit in the chat bar, a little bit better on being clear with what you want. Just a little bit? Okay, Rhonda, thank you. Just a little bit. And you need to want the journey, not just the destination. Not just the destination. That's how I came up with this everyday free day. How many of you have read this book, 4-Hour Work Week? You've read this before? Type in the chat bar. Tim Ferriss, super smart guy, brilliant. Nicole, why would you ever want to do, if you only want to do it 4 hours, you should kill it. It's horrible. You hate it. You don't like it. Get rid of it. I believe in the everyday hour. You love what you're doing so much. It's in your life. There is no life business balance. That's a fun theory people tell you. There's life. And under life is business and family and all the dynamics of it. And I said it earlier today in another talk, but I'm going to say it here too. I've been saying it a lot for years now. We've all read that book, or most of us. Who has children? Type in children in the chat bar. You have children? And how many of you read this book or told the story, or the school did? The tortoise and the hare, right? 3? You've had your hands filled, Bill, right? The tortoise and the hare. Well, let me share something with you. The tortoise never won the race ever. I know that because when I drive down the road, I look and I rarely see a rabbit. I mean, how many times have you seen a rabbit run over compared to a turtle? The turtle never won. The turtle got run over. But we do that so you could feel okay if you're not making progress. No. Today, you got to be a jackrabbit. You got to think quicker, move quicker, and act quicker. I'm not saying careless. I'm just saying quicker. Is this making sense? Can I get a boom in the chat bar? Is this making sense? Right? Yeah. All right, number 4. We're making great time, but I still have a bunch more, so I hope you'll hang with me. Number 4, tell me what the action item is. Even if it's to tell your kids, like, hey, don't read them that book. The turtle did not win the race. Effort and energy and giving it 100%. That's what wins over time. All right, define the target with clarification. Yes, Anne, I love it. Who else? Feel free to take Anne's too if it's set my target, not a goal. Yes, and always put or more. 1 million or more, 5 million or more. And to me, it doesn't matter. A target could be you want to release 30 pounds of weight or more, right? Or you want to gain more energy or more. I learned that about energy, and I wasn't going to talk too much about energy, but you could just write down everything is energy and energy is everything. I'll be level 54. I mean, I got a lot of momentum, a lot of energy, never drank alcohol my whole life, never did drugs my whole life. I haven't eaten gluten in 15 years, no caffeine of any kind, and no coffees or caffeine teas in probably 15 years. I'm not bragging to you. I'm just saying, if you want more, you have to do different. Write that down, everyone. If you want more, you got to do different. And most people are afraid to do different because everyone else is doing the same. So if they're drinking coffee and you're not, you feel weird. So I might as well drink it. If they're drinking alcohol, you're not. And I'm not saying you should drink, don't drink. Hey, I'm giving you a perspective. You guys do what serves you in life. I'm just sharing how this works out over time for the kid that's, 15 years old on his own with an afro, and compared to the results today. All right, let's go for number 5. Let's do it. All right, success is not a one-size-fits-all. Napoleon Hill believed success equals a lot of money. We say success is not a one-size-fits-all. It's different for everybody. I'm not a person that I don't need success for significance. I'm not out there showing you my Lamborghini. I don't own one anyway. I got a big pickup truck and stuff. But for some people, that's success, right? The car, the boat, the house. And I think those are all great successes, just not at the sacrifice of tormenting your mind because you can't afford it, right? What we say is every person on their wealth journey has a different path. See, the world wants to be impressed if you don't, you got to tell them, oh, I want to make 5 million. Me, I'm not impressed either way. Tell me you want to make $5, $500,000, 500 million. I'm like, cool, let's do it. I want your desired outcome that you want in life, not framed off of everybody you're looking on Facebook. One of the most probably beneficial and dangerous tools in the world today. The comparison effect is a very dangerous thing that's happening. You're comparing you to people on Facebook instead of you against you. I just want to look at myself in the mirror and go, how do I want to compare myself against myself, right? Now, every person, there's different starting points, different approaches, different obstacles. Some of you have elderly parents maybe you're taking care of. Maybe you got young kids you're taking care of. Maybe you're just taking care of yourself, right? And different ideas of success and abundance. What works for me may not work for you, okay? Personal growth is just that. It's personal. Now, I did figure out, based on coaching over 1,000 business owners, well over 20,000 different people, that when it comes to personal growth, it's the number one most underutilized, most beneficial thing that you can do to scale anything. That's how I scaled everything. I brought personal growth into my service company. I brought personal growth into my coaching company. I use personal growth today. Do any of you do partnership deals or anything? Type in partnership. I don't know if I have anybody on here that does partnerships or equities or investments. I mean, I'll only do a partnership deal if they're going to invest in personal growth of somehow. That's how important personal growth is today. And how many of you type in the word personal growth if you know you might need a little bit more of it, or you might need to give it a little more focus? If you're not happy, not where you're at in your life, your relationship's not passionate, good communication with your children and family, you need personal growth. There's blocks and resistance and things that happen over life, right? Happen over life. All right, number 6. Number 6, building wealth is not always simple. Well, Napoleon Hill taught thinking, decisions, and planning would create wealth. We think Think and Grow Rich oversimplified that just a little too much. Growing your wealth is a complex process until you understand it. And while success is possible for everyone, people begin with different starting points and may need to take different approaches. How many of you know that, well, first, would you like the replay of this? We're not done yet, but would you like the replay of this because you would like to listen to it again, or somebody you know, okay, we'll make sure whoever attended this, because you showed up and you're playing full out, we'll make sure you get the replay. But how many of you know for sure you could listen to this 6 months from now, a year from now, 2 years from now, and every single time you're going to level up your thinking? You will. You will, because every time you change and you evolve, you process information differently. The goal is, don't stop the consistency of evolution, of your personal evolution. That's what I learned. That's why once I figured out what was holding me back, and it was a lot of pieces, but one of the majority pieces was, one, I had to learn to make a decision. 2, certainty. You should write that down. Certainty. I needed to gain certainty in my mind and my body. Number 3, worthy. Let's see who wants to be transparent and honest today. How many of you just, okay, maybe none of you, but in the past, you met somebody that they just didn't think they were worthy of success. They didn't think they were worthy of the next level. They're not worthy of abundance and prosperity. Type in worthy if you can relate to that. The minute I said, wait, I'm worthy of it too, I'm worthy of it, then it started to come towards me. Now, the world has expanded a lot. There are more avenue strategies, more risk. Today, there is more abundance going to be created than, wow, in most of our lives. This is just fun. This is fun when you make it fun. And the key he missed out on was massive, relentless execution. He just did not say that enough. So I think people read it and hoped versus read it and took massive action. What makes me think that way? Because every time I speak, I just spoke to 600 people and I've spoke to 3,000 people on stage, and I ask them about the book and they all go, yes, I read it. And I say, who's rich? And 98% of the hands go down. That tells me it's a great read, but it's not the read that you might need now, today. Okay, let's go for number 7. Tell me let's do the takeaway. Put your action item. Action item for number 6. I want you to leave with an action item for every single one of these. So as soon as we're done today, you're like, I'm going to do this right now. Don't just keep that piece of paper sitting on your desk doing nothing. Like, do it right now. Take massive action. List those action items. Be relentless every day. Oh, yeah. Who's feeling just a little bit stronger right now than 59 minutes ago? Put stronger in the chat. Are you feeling a little more stronger? I hope so. I hope so. All right. Number 7. All right. Getting rich is short-sighted. Let me see how many numbers okay, good. We're right there. We're going to go over a little bit, but what the heck? We're going to spend the time together. Napoleon Hill made it seem getting rich happened quickly and solved all problems. But the age-old idea of get rich quick, it's not sustainable. You know what happens with the people that win the lottery? Everybody says if I won $1 million, I would just be great. What happens when they win $1 million? Historically, within a year, they're broke. And you tell me, no, you won't be. But historically, people are. They're broke. And too many people put too much emphasis on immediate money. Immediate money. Instead of playing what I call the decade game. The decade game. And more money does not automatically mean more solutions. It just means you have more money. A lot of people, when they sell a company, I don't know how many people sold a company here. A lot of people that sell a company, they get an abundance of money, and then all of a sudden they don't realize now they're not going to work every day. So guess what they're doing? They're on Amazon, Stephanie, and they're buying stuff. And then they're not going to work. So they go to the mall. And then they don't go to work. They go on another vacation. Before you know it, all that money becomes no money. Only somebody that has sold recognized that. And all of you are like, no, it won't happen to me, but I watched it 3 decades. Now, the true measure of success is abundance and freedom. I nailed down freedom. I used to say freedom, Brian, was to do what you want, where you want, with who you want, without any restrictions of time and money. Sounded brilliant. Said it for a decade. And then I nailed it. Freedom is to live a vacation style life. Now, not vacation like you're sitting on the beach. It means you have free will at everything. Every blue moon, my team says to me, they say this. They're like, Nicole, they say, it'd be so great if you had a calendar and people could just pick spots on your calendar. I'm like, no. I never had a calendar. I never will have a calendar. That's not how I function with a calendar because I don't have freedom. Bring me someone wants to talk to me. We'll see the time to talk. Why? Because I defined, and can you just write down for this one right here? Define what freedom looks and feels like to you. Define what freedom feels and looks like to you, and then discuss it with your wife, your husband, your partner. Discuss it and get aligned on what freedom looks like. For both of you, it might be different. It's okay to be different, but it has to be aligned with the difference. Right. Stephanie says, sail wherever you want, when you want. That's right. And be able to do it from anywhere in the world. We were just in Orlando. Does anybody live in Florida, Orlando? We were there. We did everything. We did trainings. We did events. We went to parks. It was just life by and business and wealth by design. And the last part here is, how can you reframe your goals to pursue continuous growth rather than stopping at a set point? A lot of you see the problem as an issue versus an opportunity, because you can only see the one side of it. You don't see the upside of it because, hey, you didn't expect the tires to fall off the car and the roof to be bad. And, and what about a mind thing? Everything comes in threes, right? Like, I want to just go like this, Rosemary. Everything comes in one. That's the only thing that needed to happen. You got to ask yourself, how many times did you create the other two? Oh man, that was bad. Well, there's only two more bad things to come. Will be done. I'm like, why don't we just say there's only one thing and we're done? Okay, let's just live that way. So I wonder how many times I created the other two inside my life. All right, type in an action item for number 7. I'm going to take this down 1 second. I want to see all of you real quick. Those of you not cameras on, love for you to turn it on last minute if you could. And then type in number 7. And then I'm going to talk to you a little bit about a wealth blueprint. We're going to finish up. All right. I see a lot of you taking really great notes here. So I'm excited of the progress you're going to share with me. And make sure you're connected with me on Facebook and stuff. Send me private messages on you implemented, you put something in place. It's me responding to my own personal Facebook, everybody. I respect you too much to have some AI robot talk to you and stuff. So if you reach out to me on my private Facebook, it's me talking back to you, okay? All right. Ann Davis says, define what freedom looks like. Yes. Yeah, but I love my schedule. Good. Sounds like you have freedom in it. Remove endpoint. Yeah. So Napoleon Hill never talked about a wealth blueprint. And I believe you build a blueprint. Like, if you're going to build a house, do you just like start what? You just start putting a brick and then a 2x4 and then a plumbing pipe, and you hope in the end it comes together and it all works and doesn't fall apart? No, you have what? A blueprint. And a blueprint creates a predictable result. Now, to create a blueprint, you want to outline where you are and where you want to go. You want to identify the steps to get there. You want to surround yourself with growth-minded people, and you want to learn from those who have created wealth. In the Wealth Code, I'm going to talk about that in a minute. We spend time during Wealth Code, and I share with you my wealth blueprint and how the blueprint lays out so you could think about what you have, what you don't have, what you want in the future, and how to make this all doable and possible. How does that sound like to create your wealth and just make it possible? Type in what emotion comes to you in the chat bar. What emotion comes to you? Yeah. Wow. Exactly. What else do you think about when you say, yeah, if someone just helped me build out the blueprint, build out the blueprint. Well, here's what I have for you. This will be the last part right here. we got two options for all of you today. I hope you consider it. This one right here, the wealth code. If you go on, I'll show you this wealth code training is thousands of dollars, thousands of dollars. But myself, my business partner, Aaron, my business partner, my wife, we made a decision on this training. We wanted to make it so affordable for people that nothing would keep them from doing it. And we could help change their life forever, forever. So the training that was thousands of dollars, you have an opportunity to get it at 83% off. I'm pretty sure it comes to, Aaron, $497, right? It's $497, everybody. Now, before you make a decision, what do you get for $497? I'm not going to show you some fancy page with all kinds of stuff. I'm going to make it real simple. May 2nd, 7th, 9th, and 14th, plus we have a bonus kickoff session. Team, put the date. Oh, there it is. The bonus. Where's the bonus kickoff session? Make sure it's in the chat bar, guys. There's a bonus kickoff session that you're going to get for signing up for this. Now, it goes from 2 to 5 with a bonus section from 5 to 6. So if my math's right, you're going to get 4 days spread out with 4 hours each time with myself and a couple experts we have coming. And we are going to work through the wealth code. We're going to build blueprints. We're going to build action items. We're going to reverse engineer what you're doing, and we're going to change the game forever. And we're going to give you the bonus section, the bonus time before that. They put the date, I'm sure, in there for the bonus kickoff call. And you'll get that. Oh, it's April 30th. It's going to be a bonus. Why? Because you know what, Ann? In order to do this type of training with me like this is how it is. It's not recorded. You're not listening to a recording. It's all live virtual like this. I need to get you up and going. Now, what I'm excited about is everyone here, you already got some momentum. So this is great. I'm not going to have to give you the basic. We could go from crawling to start to walk some. I have one intention for this thing. Change your life forever, forever. So for $497, you could get in. Team, put a link for them and tell them what to do with the code. I think there's a code that you have to put in to get it. I will show you the page just so you know this training here. Maybe is that, yeah, let me show them this page real quick just so you guys know here. Let me click down here. Yeah, look at this training. This is the page, everybody. Just so you're, oh, hang on one second. I want to put that on a separate browser. I want to show you the page so you really can see the opportunity I'm giving you guys just for showing up today like this and playing full out. Also, if it's not a fit for you, hey, we're here to support you anyway. We'll send you a free book or something. It might be a fit for one of your friends or family, maybe somebody you want to buy it for because you're tired of them struggling for decades. But this page right here, I'm not going to go through the whole thing. I'm going to go to the bottom. Well, here, we're going to cover, oh man, this guy's going to speak. He's one of my ninja weapons for a decade, okay? These two, ladies in the house, powerful women in the house. Type in the chat bar, powerful women. Type in the chat bar. Guess what? These two powerful women are in the game of real estate. They're going to teach you about real estate, okay? And then we have one of my financial advisors that I don't share with anybody. He's going to come talk, but that's not what I wanted to show you. Look, this is the price of the training, guys. $2,997. We're going to give you 83% off. I think that's helping everybody. If you feel that's helpful, can you type in helpful in the chat bar? It's 83% off. There's a code. So you just got to click here on buy now. And then when you fill it out down here, you're going to go put the coupon code and it's going to reduce it to $497. All right. I don't know how much more we can do that because, guys, I have a whole team on here. Team, say hello and tell them who you are on the team. Say hello in the chat bar. They're waving to you. We got a whole team that's on this just to support you. Okay. So if you're interested and you want to gain wealth, you want to hang out and you feel that my level of intensity is a perfect fit, and you're okay if I, slip out with the occasional curse word, you'll just pray for me, then boom, let's do it. Number 2 for you guys, is it okay if I explain number 2 again? Below here, the breakthrough, can you just say okay in the chat bar? And I'll explain the second option. Might be less of a fit, but still good to know. Might be something you want in the future. The breakthrough. This is 2 days in person with me, okay? Right here, the Jersey Shore. It's going to be beautiful. It's May. We have a house. It's only 20 people. The house has a beautiful roof deck. We'll be up there. You can see the bay. The beach is right down the road. We'll end up on the beach. This is if you want a total immersion of spending 2 days in with only 20 people. It's not a big event. It could only fit 20 people in the house. So it's not like you're going to show up and there's 100. We take care of the food. All you got to do is fly and get room. They're going to spend 2 total days mapping out your plans. We're going to answer all your questions. You're going to go through our proven breakthrough process. And the goal is to give you more progress in 2 days than you had in 2 decades. If you decide to do the breakthrough, okay, the wealth code is included. It's included. Now, you can't just sign up for the breakthrough, okay? Team, put the link in for the breakthrough. Oh, there's the house. Isn't that a great house, guys? I want to let you know for the breakthrough, what has to happen for that. So let me show the screen. Because I'm personally approving everybody who's coming. Why am I doing that? Well, one, you're going to be in an environment where, people are not showing up to brag about their cars and stuff like that. This is not an event. If you want an event where you're going to go and smoke cigars and drink, it's not this. There's no alcohol. There's no cigar smoking. This is your coming to change your life and spend 2 days with me and helping create those breakthroughs. Now, if you're interested in this, you got to click and fill out the form. You click to apply. You fill out the form and they'll send the form to me. And then immediately I'll talk to you about it and say, okay, well, what do you want to break through? Like I'm standing behind 3 decades of results for people. So I need to make sure that I can get the results for you. And I love why you're coming. This is going to be the most caring, good, kind-hearted family people. Also, this is not one of those experiences. It's not to make fancy videos of you. It's not to shove you all over social media. It's closed doors. So most people in the world won't even know you attended. Why? Because we have people coming that just don't want to be all over Facebook. You're going to be in there with some profiled people, and you're going to be able to grow with those people in there, and they're inviting you in because they know you want to expand and grow. So if you want to check this out, there are some videos on this page. This is not the beach, but same kind of connected beach is there where we did, we did an event there. And yeah, if you just look at this, this is one of our other gatherings. So this is going to be an amazing experience, and you'll get the wealth code. All right. So let's do a final recap here. Thank you for letting me share that. If you do want the wealth code, everybody, and you want the 83% off, what is today? Today is Thursday. All right. I'm going to leave that to end of day Friday. Okay. Because if you're going to do it, we talked about Think and Grow Rich. The thing he was missing was massive action. So if after spending an hour 15 with me, you're not sure if we're worth, the company's worth, my knowledge is worth $497, I would say, hey, don't spend the money. It's fine. If you do think it, well, then just reach out. Also, if any of you are in a position where that's just stretching the heck out of you, the $497, send a message to my team. Hey, team, can you put a email? Send a message and say, I'd love to do it. Can we do some kind of payment plan or something? At this stage of my life and pretty much my whole life, I hate saying no to anybody that they can't do something that they're willing to commit to. And if you're willing to commit, we're going to do our very best to help you get this knowledge and do our best for you. Okay. I hope that's something that you'll take advantage of, but we'll leave the 83% off till Friday. And if you want the breakthrough, we have, I think, 3 seats left. After those 3 seats are gone, we're closed out. So I'd fill out the form today. All right, everybody, I want you to do me a favor. Type in the chat bar What has been your one thing, the one big thing, Jim, that has changed everything after this session? What is the one thing? I want one thing from everybody. That will be the greatest gift for me. Then I will play a little song on your way out. So type in the one thing. All right, let's read some of these one things. And hey, all of you that are hanging, man, some of you even, look, Bill's on the road now. Hey, Bill, thanks for hanging out on this. Super excited that you were here. So many of you making magic. You took time. David Fisher, honored that you're here learning. I love your progress that you're making. Build a wealth blueprint. Heck yeah. Recommit to massive action, motivation, action, re-energize my mind. Boom. I love it. Jim, let's see what else we got here. Wow, you guys are on fire today. Brian, take action. Yes, I love it. Let's do it. I got people Facebook messaging me now. All right, make sure you get connected with me on social media. Set thoughts the night before. Rosemary, yes. All right. Hey, I appreciate you. Love you guys. Thank you for hanging out. I'm glad you got massive value. I really hope you'll join us on the Wealth Code or fill out the form for Breakthrough. Team, put the information one more time and boom. Have a great rest of your day, everybody.